My name is Austin. This is my sister Samantha. I'm teaching her and you guys how to shoot a free throw. There are three main steps to shooting a free throw: your foot placement, your shooting form, and your rhythm. I'm going to show you guys breaking down each of these three steps in this video. Let's get started. Alright, so you just got fouled and you're headed to the free throw line. What's the first thing you should do? On every court I've ever been on, there's either a dot or a line on the center of the free throw line. That dot or nail represents the middle line of the court, and the basket or rim is on that center line. So when most people go up to the center line, they're going to straddle that line. And that makes sense because your thinking is you're in the middle of the rim. That would make sense if your arms were in the middle of your chest and you're shooting from here. But when we shoot, we're shooting out here. So really, you're shooting 2 or 3 inches off of the rim. And in basketball, 2 or 3 inches is a make or a miss. So when you walk up to the line, or the dot, if you're right-handed, you should put your right foot on that dot. If you're left-handed, you do the opposite. What that does is when she rises to take her shot, then it's actually in the middle of that dot. So it would be like you're shooting in the center of the rim. If she was right-handed, she would do the opposite. Her right foot would be on the center of the dot. So now you're positioned correct on the line. What do you do with your feet? A lot of people have a really bad habit of having the feet completely square to the basket. That might work for some people, but it causes a lot of people to shoot very stiffly. So what you should do is move your non-dominant foot a little bit back and then slightly turn your feet. What that allows you to do when you shoot is it allows you to bend your knees a lot easier, and then when you release, you go onto your toes a lot easier. Instead of like this, when you go on your toes, you kind of rock forward, and a lot of people will step forward. So how do you hold the ball when you shoot? So, in the front of the ball, where the logo is typically, you're going to take your guide hand and straddle the laces. With your other hand, which is the one that holds the ball in place, you're going to put your fingers on each of these laces here. So when you're holding it, you're going to hold it like this. So when you fall through, it goes off your fingertips. Make sure this side hand does not go behind the basketball, because you're basically stopping yourself from shooting the ball. So now that we know how to hold the ball correctly, we're going to get more into your actual form. So a lot of people, the biggest issue with their form is when they're shooting the free throw, when they bend their knees and everything, when your feet are like this, they keep the ball here. So they bend and they stay here. What happens when you do that is when you release your shot, you more so push it than actually following through and making an arc. So you remember back when you were in middle school, elementary school, the whole hand in the cookie jar thing? You can't do that as well when you're just doing this, because you're going to shoot super flat. So what you should do is when you're getting ready to shoot a free throw, keep the ball down here. So when you rise up, it's all one motion, and then hand in the cookie jar, okay? So you get the ball, hands in the right place, down here, and then follow through, okay? Okay, now that we've gone through how to stand correct on the free throw line, how to hold the ball correctly, and how to release the ball in your form, we're getting into the third thing, which is your rhythm while you're shooting. It sounds very weird, like how does rhythm go into a free throw? But rhythm is your routine. If you ever watch any higher level, or really any player go to the free throw line, if they're a good shooter, they always have a routine when they go to the line. Because the hardest part of shooting a free throw is, it is a free shot, there's a lot of pressure. You have no defense, it's all on you. A lot of people are watching. So, to make yourself more comfortable, you should have a routine. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Literally just a couple bounces, and then shoot the ball, okay? So, some people have different rhythm or routines when they shoot the ball. Gilbert Arenas used to put the ball behind his back. Jeff Hornacek used to wipe his face a few times, every time. Whatever makes you feel comfortable, it can be anything. For example, what I do is this. I dribble 3 times, and then I spin the ball. When I spin the ball, I also bend my knees and bring the ball down. To me, that makes sure I bend my knees and bring the ball down every single time. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Some people just dribble, then lock their knees. That doesn't. Whatever makes you feel comfortable, and make sure you do it every single time for consistency at the free throw line. With athletes I've worked with, adding a free throw routine has significantly increased their percentage from the line. It always made me feel more comfortable, and I know it made them feel more comfortable. If you want a real example, like popular example, Russell Westbrook had a very lengthy routine. The NBA changed the time from 10 seconds to 5 seconds to shoot a free throw. Once they did this, his percentage dipped by like 20% because he no longer felt comfortable. Being comfortable at the line is, in my opinion, the most important thing when it comes to free throws. You've seen me do it. Now it's her turn to put everything together. She got fouled. She's going to the free throw line. Her feet are correct. She gets the ball from the referee. Goes through her routine. She gets comfortable. There you go. With anything, it takes a lot of practice to become an expert at anything. They say it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert. So, but this puts in the building blocks to become an expert at free throws.